before the end of 7
Obviously.
years. So, you know, I met her actually 3 months in of the 7 years I met my wife, and then was planning on becoming a monk. And she studied a lot of like yoga and meditation and spirituality and stuff. And then she is a wonderful person, but also wanted to be married to a doctor, so I decided to go to medical school. And then
No way.
yeah, kind of. And so then, you know, I did neuroscience research for a couple of years, and then studied like basically the brain, psychology, and medicine for another 8 years. And then now I show up on stream and I talk to a human, and then I try to use anything from that 15 years that I've learned to try to help them with any kind of problem that they're having.
Okay.
Damn it, they have the lead. Take
That's
it
cool.
back.
Like, super interesting. With
I
the
think
monk
so
and
too.
the doctor, the wife, like everything together. Sounds like you should write a book maybe one day, or make someone write a book for you. I mean, it's
Okay.
worth it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. I try to write. I'm trying to write like 5 books. None
That's
of them
great.
are autobiographical. But
That's
anyway,
great. Okay, I like
yeah,
that.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you found my story interesting. Can you tell me a
Yeah,
little bit
it's
about
really-
yourself?
Okay, I'm Jade. I grew up in Germany, born and raised here. Lived for 2 years in Thailand, but now I'm back due to Corona. I wanted to be with my family, and I started streaming on Twitch around 2 years ago.
Okay.
But I really got like into the community since December. Before that, I just did my own thing. I wasn't really associating with any other streamers. And what I stream is basically mainly just chatting. If I have a PC, like right now, I try to game. And yeah, I just do just chatting.
And when you say you weren't really a part of the community until December, what is that? How does one become a part of the community? What does that mean?
I would say like not community, but like associating with other streamers. Like before that, I didn't know any other streamers. I didn't
Okay.
text with really any streamers. And in December, around that time period, I got to know other streamers. And that's how I slowly got into the whole. And now I'm stuck at the live stream fail hole.
Oh, and
yeah.
tell me about the live stream fail hole.
It starts usually like with 1-2 clips that are like really funny, and then people want to see more, and then there's more clips out of context that are not as funny, that are just really drama creating clips, and then you're kind of stuck there because all your clips keep being posted there and you can't do anything against it really. So
And how does that?
I feel helpless because I contacted the mods of the Reddit, the subreddit, but they don't care. Obviously, because clips and views, not views, clips and views. I mean, upwards, downwards, like that's all that matters, not how the people actually feel.
Why do you care what's posted there?
Because those people eventually end up on my stream, and it's hard to like stream and then seeing all the negativity in there. Although I must say, from Reddit specifically, I got a bunch of viewers who are really nice. Just there are individuals who make it hard for me to have a good time.
And this is what we do on stream, by the way.
Yeah, I noticed. I see what you do. It's like the things they write in chat are really hurtful. Because I mean, I can't blame them. They see one thing about me, they don't know anything about me, and then they react accordingly to what I say.
Okay.
So yeah.
And what are they? What is the slice of you or the thing that's taken out of context that they react to?
It's mostly and only very sexual things they say. Like
Okay.
really random sexual things.
Like you say random sexual things that are taken out of context?
Yeah. Yes.
Wait. You say random sexual things that are taken out of context.
No, I mean it's altogether like something sexual, but they did take like one part of it
I see.
and like, which looks like really really bad. And I can't like, I mean it does, but yeah, I can't really defend myself here. It's what it is.
Sorry about that.
No, oh, okay.
So And so is there? So it sounds like it's pretty stressful for people to, for people to take things that you say out of context. It does sound like you talk about sex or sexuality in some form on your stream. Okay, and that gets taken out of context, and then it's kind of stressful because you're trying to fight against a false perception of yourself.
Right. I mean, I don't want to fight against the fact that I am like always horny or like somewhat perverted. It's just the way they make it always seem like is that I say that I mainly
Wait,
say
what?
those things. Okay. Wait. Okay, maybe I should throw in something. I'm hypersexual, which
Okay.
is something that I've been since 2016.
What does that mean?
And I had a sexual trauma, like sexual violence against me, and since then, in order to cope with that, I started to become sexual in order to normalize what happened to me back then. And
Okay.
now it became like unfortunately, it became a trait of mine, like being always sexual. I'm talking in lewd. Do that make sense?
Yeah, you make perfect sense. I'm just trying to
Okay.
follow what you're saying.
Okay,
Sorry.
no, okay. I'm not sure if I follow what I say.
No,
So-
so Jade, let me just tell you another thing that I do. Sometimes I will just not say anything because I'm processing, and then I may actually ask you for time to think about what I say, and that is also a meme. Where I'll just ask
Okay.
people like, "Can I just think for a second?"
Okay, cool.
But you can keep going. So you were saying that you had a sexual trauma that happened in 2016. Do you mind if I ask? I know generally speaking it's an impolite question to ask, so you don't have to answer it. But can you tell me like ballpark how old you are?
I was 16.
You were 16, so you're
Yeah.
20 now.
Yes.
Okay, that's very young. Okay. So
Oh,
hold on. Okay, sorry. Someone is remote desktoping it. Maybe they need to fix something that I'm not aware of, but okay. Sorry about that. So you were saying you were
Half of them eliminated.
so you're hypersexual
Now
as a
for the
result
other
of sexual trauma.
yes.
And so what do you mean by what does hypersexual mean?
And oh god. Okay, so basically, to simplify it, it's just my thoughts and fantasies, my thoughts and sexual fantasies, hold me back in life. Like I sabotage myself because I act impulsively on my sexual needs, and
Okay.
my thoughts are usually most of the time to always on sex, and well, what comes with it. And it's something I try to get rid of, really, because sometimes I have it at the most inappropriate moments, like at the funeral, which is really bad. It's just I can't get rid of it. It's like my mind is stuck. And I really try, because I've noticed that me being like that makes people uncomfortable. And yeah, I'm really working on that to
Okay, so
Get it done.
let me ask you: have you seen a mental health professional, like a psychiatrist or therapist?
yeah, I've seen 7
Six?
with I was actually at the mental asylum, not a mental asylum, mental hospital. With that is 7 because it was more than one specialist, but I'd taken one category, so 7.
Okay. And so you've seen 7 while you were in the hospital, or like you're talking about before and after?
No, like 6 altogether, and like when I was in the hospital, like that time I take as number 7, even though
Oh,
it
I
was
see,
more
I
than
see.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so 6 therapists, have they been helpful? Have any of them been helpful?
One. One was helpful. The
How were they
rest made it
helpful?
worse. That
The
one
rest made it
person was helpful. I don't know, like the way they put a lot of things in my mind I didn't think about beforehand, which made me worry more and more.
Okay.
But the one that helped me was the one who was, to say it straightforward, he was like an asshole. He was straightforward. He didn't care about my feelings, and that's exactly what I needed. And he said basically, if you, back then I was, I was in the asylum because I tried to take my life. Not asylum. I keep saying asylum. Mental hospital. And he basically said, so you don't want to be here anymore. And me back then, super dramatic, no. And he said then, so how would you like the idea of you being buried and your siblings would be around your grave. And that image made me realize that I don't want to die. Yeah, it was tough. I was there 17. My arms were open and I was just really blank, and I had only one thought, which was I don't want to be here anymore. And then after he said that, I realized I can't do this. I can't leave them behind. So
Do you remember why you didn't want to be alive?
yeah, yes, I do.
It's you feel comfortable talking about that?
Yeah, that's why I'm here. Like, I'm in general, I'm always comfortable about talking anything and everything because I hope by me being open about it that someone will see it and eventually open up. I had a depression since I've been 8, and I always had like this constant sadness. Like this. In order, how should I say it? Every time I was sad, I thought it would better to hurt myself because the pain would be better than the feelings I feel. And there was always this sadness wherever I would be. And then bad things happened like in 2016 or when I was younger, like altogether those felt so heavy. And I felt like a burden because I could see my parents always worry. They always had this worry in their eyes. Like when they ask my siblings how are they say how are they? Like how are you? But in my case, every time I felt like when they asked me how I am, it was more like checking like am I stable? Am I mentally okay? And I just really felt like a burden constantly. So at some point I thought like let's just get it over with. And
Do you still feel like a burden today?
not as much. Sometimes emotionally I feel like a burden to them, but not like me. I earn my own money. I'm in that way. I'm independent, but like emotionally, I do think that I weigh them down sometimes, and yeah, it's I don't know. It's like when parents hide from their children that they cry because I don't want them to feel worried. That's how I feel like now. I don't want to be emotional around them anymore because I'm afraid that they will worry again.
Can I think for a second?
Yes.
We are a hair away from victory, soldiers.
So they're trying to fix it. Let me just think. The therapist who's helpful was the one that you saw when you were in the hospital?
No, that was the one after the hospital.
And why did you stop seeing her?
Because I felt I don't want a long-term thing. I want someone who helps me like for a couple of good months and then I'm done. Like and back then I was just really edgy, like, oh, I just want to party. Like, what's the point of going every Wednesday there? And after he said that, I felt like, okay, I don't need him anymore. I don't want to die anymore. So I was like, okay, I'm done. But that was just
What do you think
foolish,
you need,
right?
Jade?
What I need?
Yeah, what do you need?
Fundamentally, there's nothing really I need. It's just always like in moments like where you want like someone to cry on your shoulder, like a hug, like simple things like this in moments when I need it. But like right now, no, I don't need anything. Maybe if I do, but right now I wouldn't know what to say, to be honest, because there's nothing really right now in my mind. I need that.
Yeah, so I think that's a problem.
It is?
Yes. So I'm gonna just toss this out. So I think what I'm hearing from you is that your perception of your needs depend on individual states